Very kind introduction. Thank you all very much for being here. It's been a beautiful Duluth day for late February, and took the opportunity to walk around the neighborhood today and walk over. We just live just across the field actually, and boy, what a beautiful moon. And the thing that struck me about today is how much Duluthians can really appreciate a 35-degree day. Like nobody else in the world, we can appreciate a 35-degree day. And I do appreciate that you guys took a little time away from this beautiful day to be here to talk about a very important subject and how we eliminate poverty from our state and from our nation. And that starts right here in Duluth. And we are blessed with tremendous leadership in the city. Many of you here today have been dedicated to this cause for many years, and we've made great strides in the city. And one of the stories I've been talking a lot about recently is the tale of two recessions, where Duluth was back in the early 1980s during a recession that actually today's recession is on a national scale is much worse than the recession that we saw in the early 80s. But in that recession in the Northland, Duluth had near 20% unemployment, one of the highest in the nation. According to Representative Huntley, it was the second highest in the nation, only behind Newark, New Jersey. And we were kind of on that path of that many post-industrial communities were on, and that downward spiral in which bad news follows bad news and leads to a destitute community. But community leaders in Duluth over the course of the past 25 years said, no, we're not going to go down that path. We care too much about our neighbors. We care too much about this community to follow that path that many other Midwestern communities have followed. And instead, we created something different. We transformed our economy, our neighborhoods are strong, and today our unemployment rate is lower than both the state and national averages, still too high, but lower than other communities in the area. Our housing stock is stronger than other communities, and that is because of the leadership of folks who in the business community, in the labor community, in the housing community, and those that help reach and pull our brothers and sisters up when they need a hand. And so I'm really proud to be mayor of this city. I'm proud, again, that you're here today to talk about what are the next steps. We're not satisfied with where we are today. There's still more work to be done right here in Duluth and right in the state of Minnesota. Along those lines, we've been working over the past 2 years on what we call the prosperity agenda. And this is kind of a comprehensive approach to address many of the issues facing our community and to talk about prosperity. And prosperity is kind of one of those feel-good words, and nobody's exactly sure what it means. But we use it purposefully because it is a flexible word. Prosperity can mean many different things for a community, for each individual, for families. And each of us have an individual path to prosperity, and we define that for ourselves, and as a community, a path to prosperity. And so we identified 5 key areas which we believe are key factors to creating that prosperity. And those are to further education, to make sure that we have educational attainment and that we have strong public educational options. Housing, making sure that we have safe and affordable housing for every single Duluthian. Workforce development, the idea that when we invest in the skills and the talents of the people of Duluth and every single citizen of the city of Duluth, that not only helps get those folks on a path to higher income, but it also benefits our local employers who then have more productive employees. And we made it very clear that one of our goals is to increase income, and so that we have incomes that support families and can provide stability to people in Duluth. And then fifth is job creation. The recognition that, especially in communities like Duluth, that we need to continue to look for the opportunities to create new jobs, to create better jobs, and then on a person-by-person basis, find ways to move those people into those better jobs. So that's kind of a very broad overview of the 5 key areas that we think are vital to creating a more prosperous community. And the agenda has 2 basic ideas in my mind. One is that we have so many worthy projects and initiatives going on. Initiatives that are, I think, national success stories. As I mentioned, we have leaders in Duluth that are doing tremendously innovative things. What Steve O'Neill is doing on homelessness issues, and what Pam Kramer is doing on neighborhood issues, and what Xavier is doing with circles of support, and what Community Action and the Green Jobs folks are doing, finding opportunities to invest in people's homes, in the energy efficiency of people's homes at the same time as putting people to work. These are all innovative initiatives that are coming out of the city of Duluth. And the prosperity agenda isn't to say that it's yet another project or another initiative. It's the umbrella that says that each and every one of those efforts contribute to community-wide prosperity. That what each of us does in our day-to-day life or in our support of other people contributes to our overall prosperity, and that helps us all. So the question then in my mind comes back to, well, you know, that's all fine and good. Prosperity is a nice concept, and you know, we all can pat each other on the back about the good things that are going on in Duluth, but is it real? Is it going to really change our community? And I think it can, and I think it will, because we have those that are committed to investing. And I do think that the city of Duluth is in a different place today, and we have the ability to think big. I see Duluth as kind of on the frontier of this new economy. Over the past 20 years, we have had, in many ways, I believe, a false prosperity in our country. Prosperity built upon bubble economies, a prosperity built upon extending exurbia further and further out from the core city, a prosperity that is based on, you know, shuffling numbers around, and all of a sudden you get a $10 million bonus on Wall Street. You know, that's not real. And communities like Duluth didn't get caught up in that groundswell. You know, we were content of just kind of making progress, doing things that matter, focusing on housing issues, focusing on workforce development issues, focusing on helping our neighbors and creating a better place to live and raise a family. And based on that foundation and the fact that we don't have this burden of 20 years of false growth, I think Duluth is in a position to step forward and create a real authentic prosperity that we haven't seen in this nation in a long time. And it will take place because of the investment of people like you, people that love this community, the people that aren't satisfied with homelessness or poverty in our community. And that's exciting to me. I hope it's exciting to you. The fact that you're here today to talk about what we can do to end poverty in Minnesota, I think speaks volumes of our community. So thanks very much for having me.